Alright, here we go. Wooden ties, we're going to automate them. Simply because with a mod that's called Railcraft, you generally want a lot of rails so that you can go from like that tree that barely renders all the way back here. Let's see if we can render some things to add to our figurative. Nope, that's it. I'm as far as I can go. But you know what I'm saying? You need a lot of rails, and wooden ties are an important part of that. If you look at this recipe, that's what it calls for, 3 in every one. And automating the rail itself is easy, but it's the ties that always get you with the bucket, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that. And we're going to start over here. Alrighty, so we got the coke brick oven thingies, coke oven's going. I've been running them for a little while, so they all got a little bit of juice in them. And using thermal dynamics, and it's partner mods because they broke it into 2 or 3 mods now, and Railcraft, we should be able to automate it. And I'll show you a few other options, but there's a whole lot of them, from different pipes to different tanks, all kinds of stuff. Now I'm going to turn this on and start draining some of the creosote out of here. Hopefully it's working. Yep, definitely working. And I put it on slow so that it doesn't all just rush out, and we can really get a feel for how much we need. And even in my survivor worlds, I tend to make a few of these because they're not too expensive once you get it going, once you've been to the nether or whatnot. And you know what? They're super slow. They're literally the slowest. So this is the tank I usually use because you can see it, and I tend to like the multi-blocks, but you can also use these little open block tanks with this super easy config, so you can customize them. If you got a lot of lag problems, you can set the config on these to be really high so that they don't generate as much lag as, say, the big multi-block. Or we can go and pump our creosote from the coke ovens with no tank at all. The tank is just a buffer so that if you run out of coal, you've been building it up, or if you stop making railroad ties for whatever reason, you don't have to stop making oil, and you can get you a margin of error, if you will. Now, using the thermal expansion, that's what it is. Thermal expansion, thermal dynamics. I think they've got another mod, but I don't know if we needed that. We didn't need that one, so it's really only the 2 mods, Railcraft and thermal. So using the workbench, you're going to take some schematics. Not blueprints. If you put blueprints in, you're not going to find them. But you're going to use these schematics, and you're going to set it up so that the oak wood, or whatever, I think it works with almost any mod wood or any wood nowadays. But oak wood's always the fail-safe. And it takes it all the way into these rails at the end of the line. So we're going to start over here with the schematics. Now for each of your schematics, you want to click on it, load up your workbench with schematics, click on the schematic you want, and you're going to build your recipe. Now for us, we're going to simply put a piece of oak wood in here, boop, so that we can turn it into some planks. Now we would set right schematic, and then when you hit shift, it shows you that you've written that into as a schematic, so oak wood. Now I've got one down here already that we're going to throw in the machine, and that's going to go in the first machine. Nothing feeds oak wood for me. Boom, see, and there it goes. Nothing feeds oak wood automatically into the system for me, because oak wood I can usually get in pretty mass quantities. You just stack it up and go. Now the oak wood, to get to the next part of the recipe, is going to be oak slabbed. So we're going to clear the crafting queue, and we're going to put 3 oak wood in there. That gives you the recipe. You're going to click on your next schematic. Right schematic, and shift shows you that you got the slab recipe, just like I do in my inventory here. So your slabs are going to be right after. Slabs go in the second one. As soon as I drop it, boom, it starts turning these in. Now this one isn't loaded already, so it's already taking all these in. Now for this setup over here, you need the bucket. Now because you need the bucket, you'll at least need 1 bucket of creosote to set the recipe up. So we're going to clear the grid, click on number 3, and we're going to get over here to the railroad tie, and I'm just going to hit R because I think that still works. And boom, you can shift click it into there. But otherwise, you can still manually put it into your recipe, just like before. Make sure you highlight you're on the right one, write the schematic, shift, turns into the railroad tie. Now as a bonus, I added this one, but it's just the same process. You build the recipe in the grid, hit the right schematic button, and you're ready to go. Now I've got the tie and that one in there. So in the third machine, Boom, here goes your tie. Now, you don't need a bucket in this machine. It automatically starts pulling creosote out of this machine, and everything's pulling. Now, like I said, it's going slow because it doesn't need to be going fast. And it's pulling your slabs out. Like I said, no bucket. Just the first bucket to write the recipe. It's automatically dumping these in here. Now, I put some rails in here. This is simply rolling machines. A lot of times the recipes output so many of these that it's just give it a chest and pipe it somewhere. We're going to throw our track recipe in there, and now boom, it's setting up the track. That automatically feeds out right here in mass quantity. And that's it, guys. It's really that fast. It's really that simple. And you can shrink this the system, and you can use it however you like. The essential is you need to be making creosote with coke ovens. Making creosote. Now pump your creosote into a holding tank or right into your cyclic assembler. You can do it any way you want. There's a bunch of different cyclic assemblers. If you let the recipe sit here, it'll hover through the different machine frames. You can use the one that it automatically gives you in Creative, the resonant one, or you can start with the basic one, which uses some tin and glass. Not a big deal. 4 of these machines plus your little workbench. This again is the resident workbench, but if I go down here, I can type in the workbench, and there's a couple different ones, including one that uses like copper and bronze, so they're really not too expensive, and it creates a huge amount of rails automatically because now it's working in real time. Everything's moving, and there's still all this oak wood going through. And that's it. That's how you automate wooden ties. You can hide it underground. You can make it vertical. You can make it any which way you want. Leave me any questions you had in the comments, and I can see if I can answer them for you. All right, guys. As always, mine easy. Thanks a lot. I'm out.